Story of Rupam Gupta starts when she was invited by her mentor to be part of the women's company last year. Co-founding a startup which is giving not just any other product on the map, but is on its mission to provide the most comfortable and eco-friendly products to women across the nation. I was surprised to know that it takes approximately 800 years for a sanitary pad to decompose. Imagine. In this episode of Just Parv, Rupam shares how hush-hush this topic has always been in our household, and how TWC, a company by women and for women, is out there putting its best foot forward to solve issues around women hygiene for everyone around. And let me just tell you, because Rupam is a dear friend, she's one of the most relaxed individual I've ever come across, but also the most fierce entrepreneur. This is Rupam's story on Just Parv. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Just Parv podcast. We have Rupam Gupta, co-founder of the Woman Company, with us today. Welcome to the podcast, Rupam.
Hi, thank you, Parv, for introducing me. And I'm very excited as you are for this podcast. So shoot your questions and I'm all game.
Sure. But before we start, Rupam, I have $1 million question for you. And trust me, it's going to be a tough one. It was for me. Imagine there is a lockdown situation, right? Just like we had last year. And you have just two food options to choose from. What would you go for? Either Chola Bhatura or Rajma Chawal?
Wow, I can't answer this one because this is really the toughest questions in all the interviews that I've ever had. I think I will have, being a Bania, I think I'll have Chola Bhatura.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me. There's something unique about Chola Bhatura, right? Somehow you've been in Delhi for such a long time, but still our preference is more towards Chola Bhatura. I remember I was in Ludhiana and every Sunday, that was my breakfast.
Well, I am not graced with a great metabolism, so clearly can't afford every Sunday. But yeah, whenever I get a chance and whenever I seem to be missing my last few meals, I do kind of hog in.
Great. So I think I've set your Sunday breakfast menu for sure. With that, it'll be great to hear your story, Rupam, from a corporate job, managing some of the world recognized brands across to now an entrepreneur. What's your story like?
The story is fairly simple, Parv. I started my career almost 15 years back. So to say, I'm counting my internship years also. So started my career with Marks and Spencer. I was their first intern to kind of get selected as the first PPO candidate, which is a pre-placement offer. I stayed there for around 7 years, started as junior as an intern to a management trainee to a brand executive to a manager, and stayed there for 7 years. When I realized that if I don't move now, I may be a fixed furniture in here. And that's what, you usually think during those early years of your profession. May or may not be true, actually. It's always good to stick around loyal and be a brand loyalist. Moved to Bata, India, to head their corporate communications and digital marketing. Created a brand new perception of Bata being not a masses brand, but a brand being available to even the segment of people who would want to opt for a premium product. So did that for them, trained a lot of spokesperson, got an opportunity to meet Thomas Bata. Media trained him, surprisingly, to be speaking to an Indian consumer, which was an exciting phase of my journey. Stayed there for around 3 years, launched their e-commerce, which was a big thing on my pad then. Moved to Pashma. Pashma is a luxury brand and they do Pashmina clothing. I was heading marketing for them, didn't enjoy much. And also that was a time when everybody was kind of moving on to e-commerce, which I realized when I was launching Bata e-commerce. And then I thought, let's move my industry before people start to not visit the stores. And who knew at that time pandemic would hit. So then I moved to an industry which will never fail, which was a mother and child space. A woman will always get pregnant and she will always birth. Thankfully, this is the cycle of life that we are in. So moved to Fortis La Femme under the leadership of Anika Parashar. She was the CEO then, and I'll tell you more about her as we grow on onto my journey. opened around 4 hospitals, understood what a woman really wants,
Wow.
and also realized that a hospital is not only for the 9 months of a woman's life when she's pregnant, it's also a before and after.
Yep.
It is a lot more than those 9 months, and how a woman needs to be taken care of. And we opened 4 hospitals, served women, understood them, realized what's missing in this space, in this country, and so on and so forth. When Anika
Yep.
decided to leave,
Mhm.
she left because of a few personal circumstances and she wanted some time off. But knowing her, I always knew that she will not stop because, just a few minutes on her. So she launched the Mom and Me stores with Mahindra.
Okay.
And she launched the Mama Mia concept at Fortis.
All right.
And she was invested in twice. And she was offered a job to lead Fortis La Femme hospitals.
Mhm.
And she took it. And she did that for a couple of 4 years and left.
Mhm.
And one day she just called me and she said, Rupam, what's up? I said, I'm still at La Femme. While she was not. And she said, okay, I have a job for you. So I was also in that wayward mind. And I said, what is it? And she said that I want to do something in the space of women because I know it best. And she was absolutely right.
Yep.
Because she's also a professional doula, a birth education master, uh, and a lot more, which I can talk on as we go forward. And
Yep.
she said, join me and let's build this brand for
Mhm.
women. Or at least let's figure out if we were to invest in this brand somewhere. So I kept the phone and I was 2 months pregnant then. And I asked her and myself, will I be able to do it? And she said, if you can't do it, nobody else can. And, it is a woman who has to trust herself. And
Yep.
if a woman wants to do something, she can at any stage of her life. And she made me trust myself. And I left Fortis and I joined her. For the first few months, we kept on figuring, there are multiple brands in the market. We initially
Yep.
thought that with the consortium of funds, we will actually invest into a brand in the industry before we realized that there's nobody who's filling the gap of being biodegradable, being environmental friendly, being the right pad that a gynecologist or an obstetrician suggests.
Yep.
And that's when Anika said, forget investing, let's do it ourselves. And we started with this whole concept of women wellness and hygiene product, and we named our brand the Women's Company. A lot of R&D has gone into it. We launched on International Women's Day, which is 8th of March.
Yep.
And I birthed my second child on just a few days before that. So I always tell everyone I have two babies. One is Riom and one is the Women's Company. So that's when the journey started, and that's really the journey, Par, before you would want to ask some other question.
Just picking up on the point, Rupam, where you said you guys felt that you should invest in the brand yourself. The segment you guys operate in already has a lot of established players, right? But there's always some gap which can be filled. So, what is the gap the Women's Company is trying to fill, or is it just that the pie is too huge for other players to operate in?
It is a mix of both. So Anika wanted to do something because her daughter is hitting puberty, and
Yep.
she wanted to offer her daughter the best pad. Her daughter is a footballer, and she didn't want Inaya to any day feel that because she's wearing a pad or she's wearing something on her underwear, she can't maneuver around. She can't
Yep.
kick that ball faster. And she didn't want Inaya to feel any different from her brother Nirvan. So Anika's thought behind this and an inspiration was her own daughter. I have a daughter myself, and we want to offer the best to our daughters who are the closest to us. And we want every
Yep.
woman to realize that she has to be her priority when it comes to those 5 days of additional comfort.
Sure.
It's not simple to be bleeding for 5 days at a stretch.
Yep.
The least that you can do is offer the best pad, which will not give her rashes beyond those 5 days or a UTI by which she's uncomfortable for the remaining days.
Mhm.
So that's the inspiration. Our daughters, women around our peers, we just want women to feel herself uh, and just pass those through heavy period days in a jiffy,
Yep.
without feeling eek about herself or without feeling uncomfortable.
Sure. Sure. Yep. So I'm going to talk more about the category you guys are operating in the second half of our conversation. But I really want to understand how your entrepreneurship journey has been till now. So one question which I always have in my mind, and it's not just I would say it's not just for the startups, but it's pretty much now applicable in corporates as well, because everything is so fast paced, right? There's one basic question which all of us trying to figure is, do we invest more time in planning or do we invest more time in executing, right? If you ask me
Absolutely.
personally, yeah,
Execution.
execution for you, why is it that?
It is that because you can plan for ages, and everybody in this country, I can tell you, Par, is a strategist. Okay, everybody can plan, everybody can share their ideas, everybody can suggest ways to make your business together, put your business together. But the person who executes is the
Yep.
person on ground. Your actual army is the person who's selling at the doorstep, or a pharmacist, or a hospital.
Yep.
You can sit back in your cushiony chair and tell people that ye kar lo, wo kar lo. It doesn't work like that. Till the time you're not on there, you don't know what are the challenges, what are the questions, what are the expectations a customer or consumer has from us. So while of course the top management should be involved partially in planning, in
Yep.
strategizing, in putting together a concept, but once that's done, then I think it should be all force execution.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the industry that we are in. While
Yep.
I can sit down and plan, I'll do this, I'll do that, I will have a new product launch, but abhi pehle ka product nahi bigega to kya karenge?
True.
You have to get your products out to people's home before you launch the next product.
Yep.
So there's planning, but there's I think 80% is execution and 20% is planning. That 20% remains legit only when that 20% is the right planning,
Sure.
right? And
No,
that means that you need to have the right people plan it.
yeah, I cannot agree more. Even I think execution is the key. You can always learn when you're executing. No point in planning,
Absolutely.
sitting in the comfortable boardrooms and building
Yeah.
strategies when you really are not executing. But at the same time, Rupam, during this COVID, and I was just going through some numbers, and it's interesting that in last 1 year, if we were to compare, let's say January 2020 to January 2021, there are some 47 million mobile users India has added to its entire network, right? And there are some 35% more users who are now transacting on the mobile applications. Clearly, an indication that the way e-commerce has grown, that's something
Yeah.
which we had, initially planned we would achieve by, let's say, 2025 or even later. So this is one positive which all of us can draw out of. And considering you guys are so active on e-commerce, you have your own website, you're selling on Amazon, Flipkart, where do you see the e-commerce space shaping up in the next 3 years?
So, Parv, you've answered your own question because you have seen the stats yourself on how people have really jumped onto e-commerce because they were left with no option.
Yeah.
With this country in a lockdown state, with this pandemic, with the fear of corona, I think everybody opted to shop online, pay that little bit of extra money to get the product at their doorstep. And I think TWC happens to be unluckily lucky. We launched in middle of the pandemic, and
Yeah.
and we were shocked. I mean, we didn't know what we've done to ourselves, because when we launched the next few days after, it was a lockdown situation, and we didn't know how this brand will shape up, because we did not have any prior experience of e-commerce. But the numbers that we saw, the sales that happened, the appreciation, the recurring customer amazed us. We were overwhelmed by the reply that we got from
Mhm.
friends, family, customers, referrals. I think, like I said, we happened to be lucky
Yeah.
because we also fall in the essential commodities, and shipping for us never stopped. Even when Amazon was not shipping, TWC was delivering pads for
Wow.
women in need, and women who had the want to invest money into a product which was not harming their environment any further. Because what has happened, Parv, is that people have also realized that there's no planet B. You
Yeah.
got to save this one. And a woman in her lifetime of menstrual cycle generates 150 kgs of plastic, and one pad takes 800 days to decompose. So, the
Wow.
answer is right in front of us. And we didn't have to make a hard sell. because
Yeah.
people by now have realized what is right and what's not. You can save money, but what do you save money for when there'll be no planet?
True, true.
I think it just worked in our favor. And we just happened to be lucky, but we were equally hit by a lockdown. We still think that we had a lot more that we could do, which we haven't in the last year. But hopefully and thankfully, and with all our prayers, this lockdown should open up,
Yeah.
and we should breathe better.
Just one last question before we move to the next set of questions, Upam. Running a startup during COVID must have had its own unique problems, right? So where do you go back to whenever you need answers to your problems? Do you go back to the books you were referring to during your B school, or is it more about learning what's happening on ground and then executing?
Parth, to answer your question, it's a tricky one, but I would never say that whatever we did learn didn't have any impact. I'm sure and I'm confident that everything that we learn in our life does bring back or comes back some point.
Yep.
Be it even a news that you read yesterday, you will talk about it or think back about it maybe after 10 days, 12 days, whatever. So I never had to unlearn anything. But honestly, I never went back to my books because when you become an entrepreneur or when you are in your own business or even when you're in a corporate, you learn by the day. Every day comes with its own learning, but your base is, I would still give it to the books. The base is still made long back. There's no like nobody takes you to square one to start teaching you the basics. The basics you already get to learn, but you only enhance your skills as you move on, and every day brings a new learning. I mean, even now today, after a year of TWC, every day is a learning, every day is a hurdle.
Yep.
Every morning, be it the weekend or a weekday, we get up with something which we have to resolve. So I think what's good being an entrepreneur is that you multi hat all the time,
Mm-hmm.
because you start small as a small lean team and you grow. So I remember when Anika and me started, we hired from the third person to the 11th person now in the last year,
Wow.
and of course a lot of field boys and manpower. But uh, I have done interviews, I have made appointment letters, I have printed paper, I have put boxes in parcel to send them across. So those learnings are the real learnings which I
हाथ
learned
से
on
करा
the
है सारा काम. That's how we say it, right?
well.
अपने हाथों से करा हुआ है सारा काम.
Yeah, well, your Hindi isn't great, but अपने हाथों से बीज बोए हैं is what you actually say.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So I think
Great.
it's great. It's a great space to be in, and being an entrepreneur does let you sleep better every night. Is what I can definitely promise.
Okay, so we'll get to that portion for sure. But moving on to the space you guys are operating in, Rupam, considering it's already an established market, right? And we've been talking about women hygiene for so long, but personally speaking, it troubles me at times that anything related to women hygiene is always so hush hush in our society, right? Not even talking about tier 2 or tier 3 cities. There are so many households where people say that we are very progressive, but whenever it's about women hygiene, the conversation is always in corner of the room. And then you have the women's company which talks about it out in the open, while majority of it is on social media. But did it ever occur to your mind that the acceptance of the product could be low, or we might not be communicating in the right manner? Anything you guys felt was going wrong?
We started, and I'll answer this in two portions. Once, when we started, we never even thought once that it's a topic of a hush. We always started bold, and that also reflects in our packaging. Our packaging is a red and a beige. A red
Yes.
meaning Durga, and Durga meaning the 7-9 days of Navratras.
Wow.
And we never started thinking that our products will ever go into a black bag, because if they do, then it'll be a shame for us,
Yeah.
because the packaging is so nice, so bold, so natural, and you just want to carry it around. And even the brothers and sisters of TWC in the industry, I never call them competition because they aren't. They're also promoting the same language that we are. They are making women progressive like we want to. So we're all talking similar language. We are all trying to make women of today confident, and not shy away from the most important part of our life. In a radio interview yesterday, I said that hum hai to sab hai, and that stands correct, that if women don't bleed, there will be no kids. And
Yeah.
during these menstrual hygiene day programs, a lot of doctors are saying that, it is high time that we start talking about periods, because periods is one thing that brings life,
Yep.
right? And so we haven't experienced any hush, but there are times, when I was a child, I would be conscious to kind of go to a chemist and buy pads. Or, I will always kind of carry it in a black bag because that was what was given to me by the chemist. So it was a part of life that, something which is a pad, like, in my house, or, a couple of friends, I do keep asking this question that, what does your what does domestic help in your house use? Do they use cloth? Do they use pad? Or do they use a tampon or a menstrual cup, which I will be surprised of? And there are so many people who tell me that they still use used cloth, because one, even if they have the money, they don't want to go to the chemist and buy it, because
Mm-hmm.
they'll be so ashamed of carrying a pad
Yeah.
back home. But they won't be ashamed of washing a soiled fabric to
Fabric.
clean and hang it and then use it again. So I think we are the privileged ones, Par, and that's the reason we don't feel a hush about it. But as you go down, to the cycle, as you go, check out people on the road, they're still very hush about it, and there's still a
Yep.
taboo that exists, and we're making all the efforts possible to remove it. So we did a campaign on Menstrual Hygiene Day, wherein we tied up with an NGO called Goonj,
Yep.
and we done a campaign in which you buy one product from TWC, and TWC in return uh, donates one pack of pad to the needy.
Wow.
And those packs are definitely not going in black bags, is what our promise is. So gradually, I think we are moving towards a more progressive environment around sanitary napkins or other products. But but I will be lying in saying that we have all moved away from those black bags. We haven't. I mean, there should
Yep.
be a
Absolutely.
revolution wherein we tell all pharmacies to just take away those black bags, and we'll be
Absolutely.
half done.
Absolutely.
Because
I think
they have to stop going back and put the bag and wrap it and then just slide it under. I think that has to stop.
absolutely, absolutely. And movies like Padman, I think they have been able to address such concerns to some extent. But what do you think? What else can be done
Absolutely.
to to really send the message across? And I'm constantly not referring to tier two, tier three, because obviously it's going to take a lot of time. But even in metro and tier one cities, it's so difficult for people to think alike. So what do you think more can be done? By could be in form of a movie, could be in form of anything which you feel is relevant.
So, Per, first, let me kind of correct your question. So, when you say not tier two and tier three, when we launched this brand, we always thought कि यार menstrual cup metros में ही बिकेगा.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to buy a menstrual cup in a tier two or tier three market. A maximum sales for a cup, a menstrual cup that has to be inserted inside, is much higher in tier three and tier four market.
Really? Wow, that's surprising.
And that
Yeah.
came as a surprise to us. Metros, people use pads because they just feel that that's the right way to do. And I'm only talking about a segment of people. But in tier two and tier three markets, there has been an excessive usage of tampons and menstrual cups. It could be the reasons could be that a menstrual cup is always cheaper because it's a one-time purchase and it lasts for 8 long years. And a pad is a recurring purchase which you have to make
Yep.
every month. But I mentioned, so tier two and tier three market are no longer the backward markets. They are more progressive than we are, and they go all out to experiment and try new things. And
That's
so
that's that's
that,
good to know.
yeah,
That's yeah, yeah, that's a very positive sign, I guess. And
absolutely.
yeah, your story is no less than inspiration, Rupam. You were expecting is when you joined hands with Anika, and that too during COVID, right? Mother of two kids, running a startup in a space which is so competitive. What is that one umbrella thought which is there in your mind 24/7? You wake up with on daily basis.
You're really making me think, Parp, on a weekend. I just like I said, every day comes with its own learnings. Every day comes with its own troubles. So every day there's something, of course, from yesterday that I will be carrying forward. But the idea is to reach out to as many more women, uh, be it through making sales or reaching or touching their lives in some manner, be it through the information that we share, be it through getting more Instagram followers. It's just the idea is to reach more women. And that's why we don't call ourselves a product company. We
Yeah.
call ourselves a health, women, and wellness hygiene company. And we do a lot of these IGTV, we do a lot of interactions with doctors. The idea is to spread awareness, to get the right product to the end consumer, and to get the right thought rolling, right?
Yeah.
In this space of women wellness, we always talk about women and how they should prioritize their life.
Yeah.
To an extent that a lunch box can be packed later, or deciding what will be made for a breakfast, lunch, or dinner can be thought of later. But before that, you need to examine your breasts every day. That's more important. So it is really that thought that binds us all together as a team to really create that provoking content to women every day, to be able to get the right line rolling.
Sure. Great. I think, Rupa, the way everything has been shaping up, and I've been following the Women's Company for quite some time. I think the way you guys deliver your communication on social works perfectly well. I mean, the kind of content you guys are posting, and I was checking Instagram today also. There are tutorials on Reels which you guys are sharing. I think that's so
Yeah.
informative, and it's out in the open, right? People have so many questions in their mind, but it's good that organizations like the Women's Company are taking that initiative, putting the foot forward, and ensuring the
Best
message
foot
gets to the
forward,
world.
always.
Best foot forward, always. Yes,
Best foot forward, always, and with the right intention.
absolutely. So your final message to our listeners, Rupam, what is that one learning you would want to share with us, listeners?
Very difficult one to answer because every day comes with a learning. But I would like to tell all the people watching this is that never fail to trust yourself. Always have the right intention, and things will fall in place today or tomorrow. So be confident in what you're doing, have trust on yourself, and then yet do the right thing, and you're done.
Yeah, and stay safe.
And of course, stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated, and wear our pads if you're a woman.
All right. Thank you so much, Rupam. It was lovely interacting with you. Wish you all the best. Wishing everyone at the Women's Company all the best, and hope you guys stay
Thank
safe.
you.